When Gombe was established 27 years ago, the founding fathers of the state had lofty aspirations. Different leaders have contributed to fulfilling these dreams. The person currently sitting in the driver's seat, Governor Inuwa Yahaya, has been working tirelessly to build on the foundations laid before him and also to provide all-encompassing growth and development for the people of the state, fondly called the jewel in the savannah. On the program today, we'll first review major activities and events that occurred during the week and later sit down with the governor to review his vision and his plans for the next 4 years. Welcome to Gombe's transformative journey. I am Landry Adeyemi.
It was a busy week in Gombe. The distribution of palliatives across the 11 local government areas, followed by further disbursement to all the 114 wards, was the highlight of the week. Following the removal of subsidy on premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, the Gombe state government moved swiftly to mitigate the economic effects of federal government's policy on its people. The palliatives came in baskets. Some contained a variety of food items, while others were a hybrid of food and agricultural inputs. Each palliative package is tailored to the needs of the beneficiary.
Government is fully aware of the situations that individuals and households are going through across the state. Today, we are taking a concrete step in order to show responsibility and ensure that no one is left behind during these trying times. The palliative distribution program is expected to target 420,000 beneficiaries across our 11 local government areas. The phase 1, which we are launching today, will target 30,000 beneficiaries. Each beneficiary will receive 1 bag of 5 kg rice, 1 carton of macaroni, 2 bags of fertilizer, and 2 liters of pesticides. The inclusion of agricultural input is strategic, considering the fact that 80% of our people are engaged in agriculture.
Beneficiaries from across the state were full of commendation for the Yahaya administration. Particularly, emphasis is on the most vulnerable members of the society, such as elderly and those living with disability. This thoughtful and compassionate gesture by the government touched more hearts than food items of agricultural inputs.
We suffer a lot from the, we can say, disaster or flood. We suffer a lot.
But thank God now, I have gotten it easily, unexpected. So sincerely speaking, I really thank God. I appreciate the federal government that come to our assistance. Sincerely speaking, I am really happy. I am sure I am not the only one that happy. A lot of beneficiaries, you see a smiling face.
We appreciate the effort of the governor and we pray for him for this good opportunity that's given us, all this palliative that is given to us.
We are in desperate need of food at this very material time, and our farm is in need of fertilizer, and we are going to apply the fertilizer, though the rainy season is coming to an end, but due to paucity of funds, we are not able to buy the fertilizer. So it has come at a very right time. We are going to apply it for better yield.
Another major event is the submission of reports by visitation panels set by Governor Inuwa Yahaya to review the operations of state-owned tertiary institutions. Representing the governor, the secretary to the state government, Professor Ibrahim Njodi, received the report of each panel. After reviewing the infrastructure, operations and challenges of those institutions, the visitation panels made robust and far-reaching recommendations.
In the report that we are presenting this morning, there are 2 volumes. Volume 1 contains the main report itself, where each term of reference was exhaustively treated and there are findings, observations, and then there is also a section of recommendations. And these recommendations are directed either to the college itself, or to the Ministry of Higher Education, or to the visitor. In the second volume, we have brought together all the supporting documents, as appendices, because we couldn't just simply put them along with the report, make the report readable. So we have created this second volume, which contains all the other supplementary information, which we believe the government will find useful.
I want to thank you most sincerely as the chairman of this panel for assembling a team that I found to be very, very well. We have handled all the terms of reference one by one, highlighting our findings on each of the terms of reference, giving our observations on each of the terms of reference, and making recommendations on each of the terms of reference. We hope and pray that this document that we have produced will help government to be able to focus her attention on areas of intervention that will be more impactful in moving this college forward for the benefit of the people of Gombe State. I want to use this opportunity to thank His Excellency the Governor for his foresight, for taking the giant step of establishing a new college, not establishing, but constructing a new college at a different site. Because as we are all aware, the present college was carved out of government science secondary school in the Secretariat. Therefore, they've been grappling with inadequacy of space and other physical infrastructure. So, but His Excellency, because of his commitment to medical manpower training, decided that a brand college should be built for them, and that is already ongoing at the southern bypass of Gombe.
Yahaya Inuwa, member.
The Secretary to the State Government commended the painstaking efforts of members of the various visitation panels. He assured these distinguished ambassadors of Gombe of the state government's commitment to quality tertiary education.
First, let me, on behalf of His Excellency Yahaya Inuwa, Gombe, CEO and Chairman, Northern Governors Forum, thank you most sincerely for accepting to serve your dear state in this capacity. Ordinarily, it is a 2 months assignment, but what you have done will translate into 20 years service. 20 years service in the sense that for as long, in the next 20 years, this document remains valid. And it means you have served your state even beyond what is expected. He said, I should tell you, he has noted your sacrifices and he commends you for accepting to serve in this capacity. He said, I should tell you that his decision to set up visitation panels was born out of the desire to have a holistic picture of what obtains in our higher institutions, and in this case, the College of Education and Legal Studies in Africa. We want me to assure you that the report will be studied and all the recommendations you put forward, you will try within the limited resources within the powers of the state to implement them.
The capping point of the week is the affirmation of the 2023 election victory of Governor Inuwa Yahaya by the Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Gombe. The justice unanimously dismissed the petitions filed by the ADC and the PDP. The judgment is widely considered an affirmation of the mandate of the people of Gombe State. Based on massive votes and popular support, loyalists of the governor said that the judicial victory was never in doubt. The administration remains focused on achieving its vision for a better and more prosperous Gombe State.
The people of Gombe voted overwhelmingly for Alhaji Muhammadu Inuwa as their governor. And I would just say we are ready and Gombe is good to go. The governor didn't lose focus. He has been working and he never put this issue of the tribunal or the court case to bother him. He has been working, he's working for the country, working for Gombe. So it's like we are good to go.
Those are the major events during the week.
A major hallmark of leadership is the clarity of vision and the tenacity to bring that vision to reality. In our sector in focus this week, I sat with the governor of Gombe State who shared with me his achievements in the last 4 years, the lessons learned, and his plans for the next 4 years. Take a listen. Let me just take it from here. What was your initial reaction to the victory? I'm sure you were sitting in your home, your personal residence, with some of your associates and closest friends around you. And when you started getting the reports from the villages, from the community, from the polling unit, how did this make you feel? The acceptance of your people, the love they showed to you, then giving you a second chance at leadership?
Well, that's a very good question, Larry. It was really a very good moment for me and my colleagues and friends because it's really gladdening, to find that from all the nooks and crannies of the state, there is that hands of relationship getting to you, hands of support, and hands of cooperation getting to you from the people. And it's really overwhelming, but we thank God that it really came, and it came at a good time. And that shows that the outpour of support and encouragement from the people confirms that we are doing good and they are really in support of what we are doing in the state.
How would you assess yourself in the last 3 years and 10 months of the performance of your administration?
Recall that we publish our scorecards in the first, second, and third year. And in any of the books, when you open, you'll find that we scored ourselves against our promises, comparing what we did and what we promised to do. And across board, you'll find that we've hit not less than 75–80% of our promises. That is despite the challenges we found in the government when it came, either in terms of financial burden in form of liabilities and loans, or in the form of COVID-19 that came and the pandemic, that took the world back and set the economy crashing. But all those notwithstanding, we were able to achieve that. And we are proud that at least we've been able to find the ways and means by which we delivered on all our promises. We thank God that at least we remain focused and we have a clear vision that we want to take Gombe to. and we've gotten the support, and we're allied with the people. So that's why we're able to achieve all that, and we're happy. 85% is by no means an A in whatever examination.
What are the key things that you would like to consolidate on in your achievements before and things you want to finish, and what are you planning to start in the next 4 years?
Well, like government is a continuum, so also the mindset or the development of humanity is really dynamic. We must look at what is at play and try to maneuver around and hit the target. That means the development agenda for Gombe State, which is a roadmap on which we are building Gombe State, that is aligned to the Sustainable Development Goals, that will take Gombe to the next level by 2030. We will follow it. We did not just do it in order to abandon it or for just seeing or as a decoy. No, we want to implement to the letter. That's what is going to guide our actions and activities in the next 4 years. Mind you, all that we have been doing is in relation to the needs of the people that we have established. Going through all the communities and taking note of what they need and what we need to do in order to address those needs. Once we do that, I think Gombe, and I believe it will be so, inshallah, because that will mean that we've seen Gombe through the first 8 years of the development agenda. And by the time we reach that target, I believe we would have succeeded in transforming Gombe, in changing Gombe, and making it better for both us and the next generations that are yet born.
Now, talking about these projects, how do they key into each other to create an industrial hub, a commercial nerve center, and to bring prosperity to your people? And as at that time, the Komani oil field had not been commissioned then. So we didn't really indicate it then during the investment summit. But now all these things are coming together, and you have another 4 years to bring this, your baby, into a level of maturity.
It's like a chain. If you are able to link one to another, it will mean there will be a continuous flow. So if you are talking of coal money, which is a deposit of oil that will be exploited and somehow, aligned to the economy. So also is the agri sector. And the industrial park that we are doing is a place that is 1,000 hectares, planned to have all capacities or sizes of industries. For me, I feel it's not government that should provide jobs to the people. No, the private sector has more role to play in terms of engagement for the youth. Because if you provide opportunity for the youth, eventually you provide opportunities for their parents and for their relations. You can imagine a 1,000 hectare facility that is provided with all facilities, power, water, good road networks, internet connectivity, and so on. That means that Gombe eventually will be the industrial hub of the Northeast. And that is my dream, for us to be the main fulcrum on which the economy of the Northeast sub-region rests, that is revolving to give prosperity to the people, not only of Gombe, but in the entire Northeast of the country. All those things aligned together are what we aspire to have. And I think those will be what every developed or developing state or nation will need to have. We try to look at Gombe as a sovereign state. All we are doing is to see that we try to become independent, of what we take from the Federation account, so that at the end of the day, the people will really feel and have the impact of prosperity reaching them directly.
What are the lessons that you're going to bring up before we start rounding off this interview?
For sure, where we made mistakes, or we found that we are not in direct, we didn't work in tandem, with either the people or the governance itself, we'll try to change and make amends. Like I said, we are humans, we cannot be perfect, but at least any arrangement that you find yourself knowing that this is yes why you dread and you try to correct, I think takes you to a better position. That's why I always tell people that where we are, at least we need to be corrected, and we stand to be corrected, and we shall implement any corrective measures we take or we decide on ourselves and the people, so that together we can uplift humanity. The essence of this job is for us to make sure that people are uplifted, and the state, in terms of administration itself, is put on the right framework that will give good governance, that will provide development for the people.
Let's talk about the state secretariat. Ministries, departments, and agencies of government would have their own offices and not just have to spend so much money on renting. You've invested quite a lot in the government house building and building new infrastructure. We saw some other infrastructure within the states of government buildings. Do you still want to go ahead with this, even if you don't complete it within your term? Is this something that you're considering starting?
Certainly. That's why we intend to put up a state-of-the-art secretariat for the civil service and all ministries, departments, and agencies. We also intend to have a high court of justice that will, facilitate the delivery of justice to the people. And equally, the House of Assembly. If you look at all those, they are the framework on which, a democracy thrives. And for us here in Gombe, what we have is really not in terms or not in tandem with modernity. We need to catch up with the rest of the states where, they put all those structures. And we've earmarked a space for them. Once we move the Bauchi Road Motor Park, we got delayed because the Bauchi Road Motor Park is not yet completed. I mean the mega motor park. Once that is completed, that's where we intend to put up some of those structures. And I think you'll see them through. We shall start, and God willing, we shall implement all of them because we have made enough provision to see to their take up as soon as possible.
Working to bring development and benefits to Gombe, having the APC in Gombe and the APC at the national level.
That is by all means what we need to have in order to have the enabling environment to implement good policies, to implement projects that will really be far-reaching in terms of effects on the people, especially the economy. With what Aswaju did as governor of Lagos and the plans he has for this country, if you go by the manifesto that he provided, I think that joined with our own focus and vision here in Gombe will really complement one another. It takes two to go together. Once we are able to move and align the state with the federal government, I believe things will go well and we shall achieve our objectives. Mind you, we are all APC, and APC as a family will really move faster than maybe when we have somebody else in the federal government.
What would you want your legacy to be remembered for and your time in government?
I'm happy that you mentioned all that, and you mentioned it to be on the positive side. At least if I should answer my father's name, it will mean that I'll do, or I try to protect that name, I even advance it better. I'll try to leave better legacies. Let it come to be that even on my epitaphs, it reads that I came, I saw, and I conquered. I'll try to do my best to make sure that at least I leave a legacy of good projects, name, and philanthropy that will allow me to be in alliance or in tandem with what my father did. It's my prayer that at least I also succeed like him, and I bequeath good legacies for my children and the future generations equally to live on and make their own name.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for granting us this interview. It's been a great time talking to you. Though very brief, but
it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure too.
It's a honor.
And let's hope we have such good times next.
Certainly we would. Gombe State is certainly on the path of accelerated development led by visionary and compassionate leader. That's much we can take on this edition of Gombe's transformative journey. Join me again next week for another episode. I am Landry Adeyemi.